Welcome back. This is Transition Television Network. Now to the rest of our story. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has lauded the extraordinary contribution of Pa Frank Abiodun Agi Imokude as the celebrated cultural icons marks his 90th birthday. In a House First message contained in a statement issued by his special advisor on information and strategy, Bayo Onanuga, the president described Pa Agi Imokude as a national treasure whose legacy has indelibly enriched Nigerians' cultural and literacy heritage. Born on January 8, 1935 in Edubana, Mr. Ag Imokuode's tribalism career has spanned journalism, literature, and public service. As the first Nigerian university graduate to join the Daily Express, his pioneering storytelling style sets new standards for journalistic excellence. President Tinubu highlighted Ag Imokuode's role as Nigerian's first cultural officer and later director of the National Council for Arts and Culture, where he spearheaded Festac 77, a landmark pan-African cultural event. The president also praised his appeal and profound depiction of the Nigerian experience. These works, he said, have bridged generational and cultural dividends, fostering pride in Nigerians' heritage. The president urged the younger generation to draw inspiration from his exemplary legacy of innovation and patriotism. Nigerian Air Force says Nigeria has potential to reactivate, maintain, and restore its fleet to all airworthy conditions. In a statement issued by the spokesman, Air Vice Marshal Olushola Akimboyewa, on Wednesday, its engineers and technicians have reactivated Odone DO-228 aircraft grounded for 23 years. Akimboyewa said the reactivation serves as a morale booster for the NAF engineers and technicians, showcasing their ability to undertake complex projects that otherwise would be outsourced to foreign entities. He said the remarkable achievement showcases the expertise and capability of NAF engineers and technicians, demonstrating their ability to restore complex aircraft to airworthy condition. According to the NAF spokesman, the reactivation process was conducted between June and September 2024 and involved meticulous planning and painstaking execution by a crack team of 5 engineering officers and 40 technicians from the NAF 431 Engineering Group, Kaduna. Akimboyewa said reactivation of the aircraft required the application of advanced engineering techniques and adherence to stringent aviation standards, and attests to the NAF's growing technical expertise and resolute determination. The NAF spokesman said the Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Hassan Abubakar, had hailed the 431 Engineer GP for their dedication and emphasized the broader import of the achievements. Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency has expressed its readiness to support the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency to fight illegal drug traders behind the importation and exportation of illicit, dangerous, and unapproved drug business at the nation's seaports. The Director General of NIMISA, Dr. Dayo Mobereola, gave the assurance when the executive chairman of NDLEA, General Buba Mawa, retired, visited the NIMASA towers in Lagos. Speaking during the visit, Moberiola commended the NDLEA for its remarkable achievements in combating illegal drug businesses and arresting drug barons across the country. The NIMASA chief pledged that the agency would collaborate with the NDLEA to secure the nation's maritime domain against the illicit drug business and shipments into the country. He said that the NDLEA's chairman exemplary leadership has brought significant progress in the fight against illicit drug in the country. In his response, General Mawa expressed his gratitude for the warm reception given to him and his team by NIMASA and emphasized the need for collaboration to address the rising threat of drug trafficking through the maritime space. Mawa said the recent seizures of illicit drugs transported through Lagos ports underscore the need for joint efforts to secure our ports. The NDLEA chairman also pledged the agency's support in sanitizing NIMASA's staff and cadets under the National Safe Seafarers Development Program on the dangers of drug abuse. Lagos State Special Offences Court in Ikeja has assumed jurisdiction to hear the allegations of accepting gratification, corrupt demand, and receiving property fraudulently obtained made against the former governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele. Justice Rahman Oshodi, in his ruling delivered, held that the persecution was successfully established by the EFCC, while the court had territorial jurisdiction to entertain count 8 to 20 of the 16-count charge made against the former CBN governor based on various facts presented in the evidence attached to the case file. The court, however, agreed with lawyers to Emefiele that count 1 of 4 of the charge are unconstitutional as they are not based on any existing laws in Nigeria. On April 8, 2024, the EFCC had arraigned Emefiele before the court on the 26-count charge bordering an alleged abuse of office and irregular allocation of $4.5 billion and $2.8 billion respectively. The former CBN governor was specifically mentioned in count 1 of 4 as well as count 8 to 28 bordering an alleged abuse of office, contrary to the punishable under Section 7.3 of the Criminal Law of Lagos 2021. In his ruling, Justice Oshodi noted that while count 1 of 4 Count 104 relates to the general offense of abuse of office as defined by criminal law. The specific conduct alleged in those counts specifically. The allocation of foreign exchange without a bid is not defined as an offense in any written law. Justice Rahman Oshodi subsequently ruled that the objection challenging the court's territorial jurisdiction over count 8 of 26 fails and is thereby dismissed, noting that the prosecution has established a sufficient territorial nexus to compel Emefiele to answer the charges. The count has adjourned to February 28, 24 and 26 for continuation of the trial. Chidi Okoro Esquire, a socio-political analyst, while speaking on Asante Television Network program Open Conversation, stated that every state has its own crisis and, if not addressed, can affect their electoral chances. He applauded the All Progressive Congress for recognizing their crisis and seeking resolution.
I think they are in the various states. As mentioned, over 8 states have their crisis. If they are not properly taken care of, it could affect their electoral chances 2027. So it is a good thing that they have discovered it, that no matter how little those crises are, you know, you don't let crisis is like a drop of oil. If you don't clean it on time, it will.
Recall that the ruling All Progressive Congress has said it is working hard to resolve crisis in its state chapters before the 2027 general elections. Felix Moka, the National Publicity Secretary of the All Progressive Congress, has refuted claims that his remarks constituted a threat to the life of Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi and his family. Moka clarified his controversial statements during an interview, urging Obi to provide evidence of the alleged threats. The dispute began after Obi, in his New Year message, faced criticism from Moka, who remarked during an earlier interview that Obi has crossed the line so many times and added that whatever he has coming to him, he should manage it. Following the statement, Obi alleged that he and his family had received threats to their lives, which he linked to Moka's comments. He stated that since the interview aired, he had been inundated with messages, some of which contained direct threats. However, Moka dismissed Obi's claims as unfounded, insisting that his comments did not imply any harm to Obi. The APC spokesperson explained that his remarks were a response to criticism of Obi's economic perspectives, which some have labeled as unrealistic. Addressing Obi's claims of threats, Moka called on him to substantiate his allegations. Moka reiterated that he had no intention of threatening Obi and emphasized that his earlier comments were strictly about Obi being labeled a voodoo economist for allegedly distorting facts. He maintained that the ex-governor of Anambra State deserves any such labels due to what Moka described as repeated falsehoods. The APC spokesperson urged Obi to present concrete evidence of law to law enforcement authorities, stressing the seriousness of such allegations and the need for accountability. Management of the National Youth Service Corps says corps members in the country will soon start receiving 77,000 naira as their monthly allowance. NYSC Director General Brigadier General Y.D. Ahmed stated this in Abuja. According to a statement by NYSC spokesperson Caroline Mbu, General Ahmed, who said his administration places a high priority on corps welfare, added that arrangements for the payment of new corps members' allowance have been concluded. The increase of the monthly allowance for corps members followed the review of Nigeria's minimum wage from 30,000 to 70,000 naira in July 2024. In 2020, the NYSC increased the allowances of corps members from 19,800 to 33,000 naira, months after a new minimum wage bill of 30,000 naira was signed. In July 2024, President Bola Tinubu signed the minimum wage bill into law, ending months of deliberations between government authorities, labor unions, and the private sector. Now in business news. Nigeria's external reserves increased to $0.920 billion as of January 6, 2025, up to $40.292 billion recorded in December 2, 2024. This is according to the Central Bank of Nigeria's external reserves movement data. The data showed an increase of $628 million on a month-on-month basis, following the government's $2.2 billion Eurobond auctions on December 2, 2024. This growth in Nigeria's external reserves is indicative of the effectiveness of the country's strategic measures in stabilizing its foreign exchange position and mounting external and internal challenges. Meanwhile, it is worth noting that the proceeds from the Eurobond auction likely served as a vital financial cushion, helping to bolster the nation's external reserves in the period under review. Recall that in December last year, Nigeria raised $2.2 billion through its Eurobond auction, marking a pivotal moment in the country's ongoing efforts to address its growing fiscal deficits. Nigerians were faced with unprecedented economic challenges arising from the removal of fuel subsidies. This raises the price of food items, transportation, and many other goods in the market that common man can afford to live on. 2024 was a thorough year, and it ended leading Nigerians to hope for better years ahead, just as the government keep promising renewed hope in programs and policies to better Nigeria economy. It's 8 days into 2025, yet Nigerians wonder whether the year 2025 will bring the renewed hope promise to fulfillment, or they should expect another year of economic despair. On Asante Television Network Street Broadcast in Lagos, Joseph Moses Muyi Yinka completes the reports.
2024 obviously was a challenging year, just as the year before was. And we have to understand that the economy of the world has been challenged by two factors, underlying factors, because you cannot build something on nothing. So if African leadership over time have not been able to, fortify our security, then we become prone and open for external aggressors to perpetrate their banditry and criminality in African countries. So that is on the one side. Then nature in itself, which is the climate change, has dealt a heavy blow on our agriculture, on the climate that affects our agriculture and food security. So things are definitely bound to be so. If you can also recall that in the recent past in this country, we've been dealing with a problem of corruption, by those who are saddled with responsibilities, to bring to bear the policies and programs of government on the country. And now here comes a new government a year and a half ago. The government says, okay, it's been so bad, and these are our programs. Naturally, when something happens, there must be a period of gestation. Gestation period must happen, whereby we have to bear the brunt, of the challenges before we gradually, get to that proverbial promised land eventually. It's not Uhuru yet. We're not out of the woods yet, but the various programs that this government is doing currently in Nigeria testifies, give us a testament that definitely things shall be better soon and very soon. And you can imagine over 1,300 nano businesses by credit, single digit credit, times 774 local government. It's wonderful. The credit for students is ongoing. Over 5 million households access to 25,000 naira, grant, as the case may be. And quite a number of programs. There's going to be silos, open grains, for Nigerians. But my particular counsel and advice to our government is that we have to make sure, as they have been doing currently, and they need to do more. Each local government in Nigeria has mineral resources or mineral resource. We can establish prototype, prefabricated factories to manufacture, to commercialize those resources. And by the time we have those established in the 774 local governments, industrialization will start. There will be more jobs for the people and all whatnot. So I wish government well, and I just encourage fellow Nigerians, let's be patient. It shall be well.
Thank you for staying with us. This is still the street broadcast of ATN Abuja, and you have heard Nigerians listing out things they expect from the government of Nigeria, as well as their own efforts to make Nigeria better. We are praying and hoping that Nigeria this year, 2025, will be better than the year 2020. I am Joseph Moses Mawinka, ATN News, Abuja. Hello and welcome to the Atlantic Television Network Street Broadcast. I am Joseph Moses Mawinka. Eight days is gone from 2025. Nigerians are really expecting something new from the government of Nigeria. And last year, 2024, was quite challenging, and there are many prospects of 2025 from Nigerians. And today we are out here to ask Nigerians of their expectation for the year 2020. What are they expecting from the government of Nigeria, and what will they be doing to better the year 2025?
To some extent,